Welcome to the deep dive. So you've sent us some great stuff on making summer a bit more sustainable,
Yeah, really interesting material.
and that's what we're going to unpack right now. The goal is pretty simple. Pull out the most useful, maybe even some, surprising tips you can actually use for a greener summer.
Exactly. And the sources, they really seem to emphasize that a sustainable summer isn't about like massive sacrifices.
Right.
It's more about just understanding the impact of our regular choices, day-to-day stuff, and maybe just tweaking them slightly.
Thanking them, yeah.
And what's interesting, I think, is how interconnected it all often is.
Okay, so let's start with staying cool. That seemed like a big one in the material. Energy use, mainly. Instead of just, hitting the AC button automatically, the idea is to think about alternatives first, like fans.
Yeah, and some sources even got specific about the energy draw,
Yeah.
like ceiling fans generally being more efficient than portable ones,
Mm-hmm.
which makes sense. And what's fascinating there is just the scale of potential savings. I mean, think about it. If even a small percentage of homes used fans more often,
Uh,
the total drop in energy demand during peak summer times could be huge. Really lessens the strain on the power grid.
that's a really good point. It makes you think, doesn't it? Like how your choice impacts the whole system.
Exactly. Have you considered that sort of thing? How your cooling affects the grid?
Yeah, puts it in perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, and the material also talked a lot about water conservation,
Oh, definitely. Crucial.
especially with, well, hotter temperatures, drier conditions becoming more common. We need to be mindful of our water footprint.
Absolutely.
The tips were pretty straightforward, some of them, like slightly shorter showers, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Simple things.
And being smarter about watering outdoors, like doing it early morning or late evening so less just evaporates.
Right. And if we connect that back, think about the energy needed just to treat and pump clean water to your house.
So by using less water, you're not only saving the water itself, which is obviously important,
Yeah.
but you're also cutting down the energy needed for all that processing and delivery.
Yeah.
It's kind of a double benefit.
A double win. I like that. Okay, what about summer gatherings? Barbecues, picnics, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Waste reduction was a big theme there.
Yes, a very recurring theme, pushing for reusables over single-use plastics.
Definitely. Some sources went into detail, didn't they, about the life cycle impacts.
They did, showing how, making and then getting rid of single-use stuff has a much bigger environmental footprint overall.
It makes you think twice about grabbing that plastic fork.
It really does. And what stands out is the potential long-term effect of these, seemingly small shifts.
How so?
Well, by choosing reusables, you're not just keeping waste out of landfills, right? You're also sending a signal.
A signal.
Yeah, like showing there's demand for more sustainable products. And that can actually influence how companies make things over time.
Interesting. Okay, here's something else tapping into natural cooling.
Ah, yes, the passive techniques.
Right. Simple things, like opening windows when it's cooler outside, obviously.
Morning and evening, usually.
And using blinds or curtains during the hottest part of the day to block the sun. It feels almost like old-fashioned, but effective.
Precisely. These methods, they work with the environment, not against it.
Good way to put it.
So it cuts down our need for those energy-hungry air conditioners. It sort of prompts you to think differently about your living space, maybe how you can optimize it for comfort naturally.
So wrapping this up then, what does all this mean for you, the listener, heading into summer?
Well, I think it boils down to being a bit more conscious in our daily routines.
Yeah, it's not about feeling deprived, is it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
The sources suggest it's more about making informed choices, choices that are good for you and for the environment.
Right. Connecting back to the sources, the core message seems to be about empowerment through knowing this stuff.
Exactly. Understanding the impact of these actions, even the small ones, lets you make choices that, when added up, really contribute to a more sustainable summer for everyone.
Nicely put. So as things warm up, maybe just consider one small thing from our deep dive today.
Just one thing to start.
Yeah, whether it's, being a bit more mindful with the thermostat or that shorter shower we talked about, or packing reusable cutlery for your next picnic.
Every little bit helps.
It really can make a difference. And perhaps this chat has even sparked some ideas for you to, I don't know, look into sustainable living a bit more.